Energy powers our life. It is used to run almost everything in your house. People rely on this energy on a daily basis, but our usage of energy can sometimes be extremely wasteful.
What most people don't consider or take seriously is the fact that the production of energy we consume on a daily basis results in high carbon emissions.
Our inquiry question is, how does our day-to-day life in a household impact the amount of carbon emissions being released?
And we're going to show you how changing your energy use habits and using new technologies can improve the carbon footprint created by your house.
Hello, my name is Savith.
My name is Jay.
And I'm Ali. So, what is the issue? The worldwide carbon emissions have led scientists to believe that the global world temperature will increase by 2 degrees Celsius within the near future. If we do not decrease our carbon emissions, the problem will be irreversible.
The third biggest factor in Ontario affecting carbon emissions are buildings, mainly residential buildings. Our project focuses on reducing energy consumption in residential buildings. Inefficient homes are a very large contributor to global warming, especially with the rise of technology. People use several different appliances, devices, technologies for prolonged periods without knowing how much energy is behind that used and wasted.
As the world population continues to grow and the developing world rapidly industrializes, humanity faces an unprecedented demand for new energy.
However, much of the world's current energy demands are being met using inefficient and environmentally harmful sources of energy. For example, over 50% of China's energy is still supplied by coal, which pollutes and releases harmful greenhouse gases into our environment.
Canada, too, is a significant contributor to global pollution levels. For example, the Alberta oil sands, which were long praised as an economic driver for the prairies, are now recognized as one of the largest pollution sources in North America.
Reinforcing what was previously said, approximately 19% of Ontario's greenhouse gas emissions are caused by buildings. This number rises to 24% if we take into account the electricity we consume. These carbon emissions produced by buildings can be controlled by us, and so we took it into our hands to start a chain.
To further prove this point, the average home has about 40 appliances or electronics that use power even when the appliance itself is not being used. Natural Resources Canada estimates that this represents between 5 and 10% of our household electricity usage and 20% of the commercial use. It is said by the International Energy Agency that the amount of power used by appliances in standby mode is enough to power almost 80% of Canada's energy needs.
Overall, in all of Canada, about 5.5 terawatt hours annually is being wasted through products we aren't even using at the time, called standby products, which cost consumers about $5 billion and causes about 7.5 megatons of release of carbon dioxide.
Those statistics were solely based on standby products. In Canada, the average home uses 12,000 kilowatts a year. That includes the use of inefficient lighting, appliances, technology, and more. That is a very large number that can be reduced with the use of more efficient appliances and simple habit changes. Efficient appliances include using more efficient devices like the ones approved of by Energy Star, a company that certifies consumer appliances made by other companies to ensure that they meet a certain energy efficient standard. These appliances include fridges, stoves, dishwashers, washers and dryers, and more. Use LED lighting rather than fluorescent or incandescent bulbs. Some simple habit changes include shutting doors and closing curtains to retain temperature, cleaning devices like radiators and appliances to allow maximum performance, turning off the lights when you leave a room, shutting down devices when you're not using them, making sure that when using a stove, the pot and burner are close in size. For mobile devices, don't keep devices plugged in for any longer than they need to reach full battery, lower your brightness, close apps when done using them, and use low power mode, amongst other changes.
The primary source of our data will be collected from an online survey that we will create, which will be distributed throughout multiple social media platforms and by distributing them among our peers in our school community. Along with these two methods, we also plan to make customers of a local business answer a survey to collect data from a larger demographic.
We will ask people who take the survey if they are aware of energy-efficient strategies and devices. These will be simple yes or no questions, such as, did you know that shutting a computer down at night and on the weekends, rather than putting it to sleep, can reduce the amount of total energy it uses? This will enable us to know the general idea of how informed the public is on the matter.
We will also ask them how important they feel that protecting the environment is and what they would personally consider worth sacrificing for it. For example, we could ask, would you consider paying $100 to $200 more on an appliance that cuts energy consumption in half?
We will ask them a few open-ended questions about our proposed method of reducing energy consumption. Their answers will contain both a response and a justification as to why they would or would not be interested in using energy-efficient appliances.
We predict that our target audience will be anywhere from teenagers to middle-aged adults. This is because the adults will have the authority and power to make changes in the house in terms of appliances, and teenagers are responsible for wasting a lot of energy through simple habits, which can easily be corrected.
Young adults have their entire future ahead of them, so influencing their actions can enable them to convince others to join our venture to a better planet. We also assume that our survey results will show that the audience already knows about the issue at hand, but does not know a feasible solution for them to partake in.
Our end product will be an awareness campaign consisting of posters, brochures, and advertisements. They may not have much variety, but they will be uniform in terms of marketing and have a relatively high production value. Our focus for the campaign is directing our targeted audience to our website, and all other aspects of our campaign is made for this purpose. The posters will be hung throughout the school, brochures will be handed out at our local business we are partnered with, and pictures of our posters, brochures, and the advertisement will be posted to our social media. All of these separate marketing tools will hopefully lead the audience to our website.
The product is made with the purpose of informing the public of the problem at hand and providing them with a solution. Therefore, the product will have the current stat on the carbon footprint from an average household and what the factors that contribute to the emissions are.
We will direct the posters and brochures to a website using a simple, easy-to-remember domain as well as a QR code. The website will be used to present low-cost, high-efficiency solutions to our targeted audience to help them create low-carbon homes. The traffic to the website will help us determine how many people saw the posters and read the brochures, but also how many people were interested enough to research further. The advertisement will be on YouTube, where we can just look at the views and analytics to determine its effectiveness.
Using this campaign, we hope to convince the general public to change their energy consumption habits, in turn lowering our carbon emissions. Accomplishing this would entail the protection of our planet for future generations.